Hello, viewers. Welcome this day, and let's be together in this talk. Destiny Life Skills Talks is what we are doing today, and I believe that you're fine, keeping safe, trusting in God, because keeping safe without trusting God is actually halfway. So you can keep safe and trust God, and you'll be completely safe. So I believe you're doing well, and so here we are, and welcome. I hope you're going to click the subscription button and the share button so that somebody else will also benefit from this talk. I want us to continue from where we stopped last time. Last time we talked about the part one of your purpose is your life, is what we did last time, and I want us to continue with the part two of the same. First of all, I want to do a recap of what we did. Number one, we said that you have to discover your purpose for it to be able to be operational in your life. There are so many things that you can do in life, but only one thing can you do effectively. Only one thing can define who you are. We want, by the time we are done with this series, that when someone mentions your name, the next thing that people see in their minds is what you do, or what you've done, or what you're doing, or what you did. Because even when you'll be long gone, your purpose does not die. What you do is the impact you make through your purpose is something that keeps on with generations, and it grows beyond you. It goes beyond you because people will always remember what you did even when you are long gone. Unfortunately, many people don't do that. Many people are living within professions, careers that they have taken in through studies. But when we look in the inside of them, they are not. It is so unfortunate. Why does that happen? That happens because there are so many things that people will define you with. For example, we all take our children to school. When a child hits 3 years or 4 years, depending on which curriculum you're using, you take them to school. When they go to school, they study the same subjects. Something is being programmed in them. And by the time, for example, here in Kenya, in our curriculum, by the time they're in Form 4, they have so much academics qualifications, or disqualifications for that matter, because there are those who don't really capture anything as far as academics are concerned. And so they feel, as they continue failing in exams, doing exams and failing, doing exams and sitting for papers after papers and failing, they keep on writing themselves off. Little do they know that something lies in them that only needs to be stirred up. And this education is actually supposed to sharpen out the potential that is already in them. A human being is born with their potential. That's what I said last time in my first broadcast, that the first thing that a human being receives is not the parents, it's not the breath of life, it's not the birth, the body, it is the purpose. Purpose is older than you. I said that last time. And I said that your purpose was created before you were created, because you were created for that purpose. The purpose was not created for you. You were created for the purpose. For example, when we look at a president, like our president, our Honorable His Excellency Muigai Kenyatta, his birth was for a purpose. He was born to become the president he is today. What does that mean? His birth was as a result of the created purpose and destiny that was already there. I'm trying to encourage you to understand that you are not a mistake, regardless of how you are conceived. It doesn't matter whether you are conceived on a roadside as a rape case, or born out of a wedlock, and everybody in the family and even in the church believes that actually act of sin. The action was not right. I will never stand here to congratulate people who, but I want you to understand, if a child is born out of this, there's a purpose and a reason. We have very many people, society and in the community, who stand and say, my mother was a single mother. I don't even know my mother. I was raised in an orphanage. I was raised by foster parents, but I have become what I've become. What has made this one to become who they are, and another one who was born with a whole in a good setup of a family, with both parents, does not amount to anything. So my question is, this purpose thing, this thing about purpose, is it about where you were born, who gave birth to you, or is it purely about you as an individual? The answer is, purpose has everything to do with you. People you go through their hands will affect you in one way or another, but they can never create a bigger purpose in your life or reduce the amount of purpose that you carry. What do I want to say? What I want to say is that you are packed with power, with potential, and everything that you need to accomplish that purpose that you were created for. Wow. So it's all about you? Yes. What about if I don't have eyes? I don't have ears? I don't have legs? I don't have hands? We have no legs and no hands doing exploits in this world. What do you need? And that is one question that people always ask. All right, I understand I have a purpose. I understand I was created for a reason. But then how do I come to understand how to overcome the obstacles that I am going through that are hindering me from reaching my potential? As I said last time, the first step to discovering your purpose is actually accepting that you have a purpose. As long as you're seated down, crying, mourning yourself, crashing, frustrated and crashing and growing dim and dim. As you frustrate yourself because of other people who are succeeding, when you compare yourself with them, you look useless, you feel useless. As long as you're seated there pity-patting yourself, it will be very hard for you to accomplish the purpose. And actually, nobody can come and kick you out of your comfort zone to go and accomplish your purpose. It is deliberate, it is intentional. It is personal, deliberate, and intentional. It cannot be done by anybody else. We can only pump you, we can only kick you and press you with words and motivation, trying to ignite the engine in the inside of you. But the only person that can rise up and say, I'm rising up and I'm going to find this purpose. And when I find it, I'm going to do it and leave an impact in this world. That is you to do it. And that is why I'm here. I believe that nobody was created for no reason. I believe that nobody was created for nothing. Everybody that has found themselves alive have a purpose to accomplish. Most people have dragged themselves away. They have been drained and taken back and frustrated by life, hit left, right, and center, and they feel like, oh, I don't have the energy even to fulfill nothing. There's one of the biggest obstacles of fulfilling of purpose. And I will tell you this for a fact. One of the reasons why many people are not fighting to discover their purpose is because they are already comfortable with something small that they are doing. Something they are doing to put food on their table. And they feel like, if I drop this job and try to find out something that really cries in the inside of me. Because I'll tell you something for a fact. Your purpose always cries from the inside. Your purpose will always shout from the inside. Your purpose always cries from the inside. You try to ignore the voice. Sometimes you suppress it with the issues of life and you feel like, yes, I would like to go and pursue my purpose, but I have to pay my house rent tomorrow. I have to buy food, put it on the table. I have to pay school fees for my children. How do I even start thinking about something else? How do I even drop this small job that I already have? I need money to feed my family. Yes, you need money to feed your family. But I will assure you of something. If whatever you are doing today, whatever is giving you money or food or whatever you need for your upkeep, if it's not in line with your purpose, it is way below your potential. It is way below what you can get. I can dare you to drop it. I can dare you not to drop it like so quickly, but to start pursuing something in line aside, something aside that is in line with your purpose. You start pursuing that which you feel your heart desires. As you continue holding on to this, if it is possible, if it's not possible, if you're daring enough and as risk-taking as Grace Destiny, you can drop it and say, the God who created me with a purpose will help me to get something alongside what I was created to do. Nothing is frustrating like using your energy in the wrong thing. Simply because somebody offered a course to take you for a training in a certain course and they could not pay for any other course. If they had to pay school fees for you, it had to be this course. So you find yourself doing a course that when you listen to your gut feeling from the inside of you out, there is nothing that matches with whatever you're doing. You expect to perform in the same field. You know what happens? If you train for the wrong thing that you're not wired for, you're employed fine because you have the qualifications. And the first thing that people meet after they see your face are your papers. Not even after they see your face, before even they meet you. Because you send your CV through an email or something, then the person will read your credentials and will be like, wow, this is excellent. They passed in this and this. They are doing so well in this and this. And then the next time they call you for an interview, then they'll meet the person who holds the credentials. And you look like, and the first impression will be like, wow, you are the brain that got all these qualifications. Bravo, fine. Then you are given the job to do. Your papers and your wiring are not matching. Ha! Can you imagine? The wiring that you are and the papers that you carry, they cannot match. And because the papers cannot work, it's actually you. You need your body, you need your brain, you need everything. Whatever you write on the paper is different from what you're going to do with your hands. So you people have the papers, and I've had scenes complaining and saying we are employing graduates and we are getting low level performance. Do you know why? They are graduates in the head, but the wiring is different. I like giving this example. If there's an accident in a certain hospital and it's an emergency and we need personnel to come and help in treating the wounds and helping the sick people or the people who have had injuries to be treated, and we bring in cops. Cops, I mean policemen. With everything that they carry, with a pistol, with everything that they carry for their job. Then you bring them in the accident scene. What do you expect them to do? To shoot the patients? To clean them with the pistols or anything? No. They will be paralyzed. As equipped as they are not equipped for that job. That is how most of us are in our areas of profession. We are equipped, but not for that job. We are qualified in the inside, but for something different. But we have been sent to do what our papers call us. Your papers will never qualify you. They'll never give you a definition. You are the one who defines your papers, not the papers. In my life coaching, I like talking to young people, especially those who are in high school and after high school immediately, because I believe this is the very time that they are going to make decisions on what to do for the rest of their lives. And if they make a mistake of picking courses, you go picking a course simply because this is what I have qualified for in my papers, you will struggle a lot to internalize everything that you need to understand about that course, because every profession has a wiring of a kind. It needs to be there in a human being to be able to execute it. As I have said, if you invite a policeman in the hospital with everything that they have, they'll feel frustrated. And what will happen? The personnel in the hospital will think this person is useless because he actually cannot perform in a hospital. That is the question is, if you take them to a battlefield, will they not perform? They will. So they are useless in this field because it's not their field. But if you take them to the field that they are wired for, my friend, you will like the job they are going to do. What am I trying to say? You who is, and you feel frustrated, and you feel like, I am not doing the right thing. I am not qualified. Every time the boss comes in, we will always see my mistakes. I feel less. I feel less qualified and nobody. I don't feel like I feel bad about what I do. I want you to think deeply. That is, meditate within you and ask yourself, am I really in the right profession? Am I really doing what I was created to do? Is this what I'm doing in line with my wiring and my purpose? If not, sit and ask yourself, what can I do as I transition from what I am doing to what I'm supposed to do? What must I do? That is the question you have to ask yourself. Greatness is locked in your purpose. Your fame, your glory, your prosperity, and your fulfillment, they are all locked inside your potential and your purpose. Where do you understand? Where do you go to discover your purpose? What must you do to discover your purpose? One thing I'll tell you is that many people don't spend time with themselves. I'll ask you to tell me about you and you will only talk about 5 minutes. And even whatever you'll be telling me is about your parents, your spouse, your children, where you've worked and where you went to school, not yourself. How much do you know you? How much do you know you actually? And whatever you know about yourself, is it what you've been told by people? Or is it what you actually are convinced that you are? You must know yourself more than anybody else, because if you don't, we will give you names and you have to answer to them, because after all, you don't have a name that you have given yourself. So know yourself. Know yourself. Know your personality, know your potential, know your, and know so much about you so that you can be able to say, in this line, I can't, because my wiring, I am not created like that. For example, if you know you're so quiet and you don't even like talking to one person, even your kids are a nuisance when they are making a lot of noise. What makes you think that you can keep talking to people every day? When you look at speakers, you admire them and you feel like you would like to do the same. If you know that you are a gadget person, don't go looking for people. If you know like you're a key people person, stop confining yourself in an office. Get out there to the people, solve their problems, and in return, they are going to reward you for your work. So whatever you need in life, if it's money, if it's fulfillment, if it's happiness, everything that you need in life is locked within your purpose. Discover it, stir it up, get it out from the inside of you. And you're going to perform everything that you need to do. People are waiting for your manifestation. People are looking forward to getting that which is locked in the inside of you. When are you going to release it? Or are you going to waste time? And I want you to understand, time does not wait for any man. Whatever time that has passed in your life, remember you have few years remaining more than the ones that you have lived. So I want you to know, if you were supposed to die at 80 years old and you are 40, half of your life is gone. And you cannot afford to waste any more time before you discover your purpose. As I have said, everything that you need in life is with you. But to accomplish your purpose, it is a pain that I have in my heart, I always have, when I realize that people are looking for money more than their purpose, accomplishing their purpose. Forgetting that by accomplishing your purpose, God will accomplish your purpose through the purpose that you have accomplished for Him. I want you to understand something. You are not your own. You never created yourself, and this purpose is not your purpose. You are actually God's project. He sent you in this world, a time like this, in this very generation, and in this very timing, because what you need to do is for now. Don't look at like someone will look and say, I feel like I have a calling of being a pastor, but there are so many churches. Said who? Your flavor is different. Go out there and start that ministry that is burning inside of you. And you'll be surprised, because when you manifest your flavor, it is different from the other flavors. And everybody has their flavor. So go and release that which is called by your name. And you'll be surprised. There are people who will come to you, even as the world is full of others who are doing exactly what you do, because your flavor is different. And we have so many life coaches, we have so many counselors, but I am a different flavor. And people will come to Grace Destiny because they are looking for that exact flavor. And they'll go to the rest and not come to me because they're looking for that exact flavor. In short, this world is full of space for all of us. Otherwise, you would not be living a time like this. Why you are alive today is because you are needed, you are required. Whatever you have that you can do is needed and required. You don't need to create another space. The space is already there. And I want to use a very good example in life. When you look at this glass of water, if you look in the inside, I don't know whether you can see the inside. There's no hole. And I want you to help me with a pen. If you look at the inside of this water, there's no hole. That is how life looks like. There's no hole in this water. This pen is actually you. As long as you're not manifesting, you're crying alone. Let me use, for example, this is Grace Destiny. This is Grace Destiny, full of potential. But she's looking at this world and seeing, hey, there are so many life coaches all over in the internet, online, everywhere. Everybody is doing life coaching, motivational talks, counseling. And what am I going to do? Because there are so many counselors and life coaches. And you look at the whole of this place and you're like, how do I fit? Where do I even get in? The solution is here. When you show up, you will create a space for yourself. When you show up, you will create a space for yourself. The water has created space for my pen. And if I decide I'm so tired, I'm so important, people can't do without me, and then you remove yourself, there's no hole left in the water. Life continues. So whose life stops? Yours. As long as you have not found your place in the water is still moving on. And as long as you have found yourself and then you got out, the water still moves on. So what matters here is your initiative. If you don't take a step, if you take a move, if you don't start, nobody will come for you from the house. You have to feel it, get it out, push it, and start it, people will be like, wow, oh, this kind of a person exists. Yes. This kind of a cook exists. Yes. This person can make so nice dresses. Go ahead and do it. Because if you don't, others are doing it. That's what I'm trying to mean by this water. Others are doing what you're not doing. Nobody really, their lives won't stop, but your eyes will be stopping. You'll be frustrated, lacking everything that you need because whatever you need is locked in your purpose. I usually use a purpose like a house. In your house, there are your clothes, there's your food, there's everything that you call yours is in the house. So if you lose that house, you'll actually lose everything. That is how purpose is. Your purpose carries out everything, young men and women, wherever you are. And you're wondering, how do I get a good spouse? How can I get a good husband and good wife? Stay in your purpose. In line of your purpose, you smell nice in your purpose. So you attract, there's an aroma that comes from a person who is actually fulfilling their purpose. And this aroma attracts the right people. Because you become relevant to the community. And everybody feels like, wow, this man is so handsome. It's not about handsome. It's not about how they look. It is about the purpose that they are manifesting. And this glory is coming out as beauty, as handsomeness. And everybody, wait until they walk out of the purpose and they start not fulfilling what they were created to do. They become irrelevant. If you want to shine, if you want to be envied, if you want to be loved, you want to be embraced, you want to feel important, you want to be lifted by people, you want people to see you at a point of high level where they can come to you for solutions. Start manifesting in your purpose. Purpose is not something that anybody will bring to you. Purpose is not something that you'll get from another person. Purpose is inside of you. The only thing you can do is talk to God. You know why? The phone that you're using right now was manufactured by somebody. The first phone that was ever manufactured was a mystery to some of us. The first time I saw a phone, I bought a phone and a manual. The manual was more important to me than the phone. Because I could not operate the phone without the manual. So what did I do? Buy the phone and the manual. And when you want to use the phone, you look at the manual. How do I operate this? What is the red button for disconnecting? And the green for calling. That is how I learned about how to use a phone. I had the manual. And what is a manual? A manual is the mind of the manufacturer. You have a manufacturer. The one who knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. He knows why he wired you the way he wired you. You look at your nose and you don't like it, go back to the manufacturer. Ask him, why is my nose like this? Why am I like this? He will answer you because he cares. And he is more interested in your purpose than you are. Because he created the purpose. You did not create the purpose. So he wants you to accomplish it more than the way you want. So talk to your manufacturer. How do you talk to him? By praying and reading his manual. And his manual is the Bible. The word of God is the manual of the manufacturer. So when you read that manual, you get an opening of a kind. Because the Bible says, your word is the lamp unto my feet and the light unto my path. So this lamp illuminates your path towards your purpose. And from that point is where we are going to start. How do you connect yourself from where you came from to where you are? And as I said, your origin is not your parents. Your origin is the one who knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. So we are going next time in our next episode, we are going to connect where is the origin of my purpose? Who created my purpose? Why was I created? And exactly when should I manifest in my purpose? That is for next episode. Keep tuned, stay tuned, and subscribe to my channel. Grace Destiny Life Skills is the channel. Please subscribe because that is the only way you're going to help someone else who is dying of frustrations, thinking that they're not important in life. Till next time, keep on tuned to Grace Destiny Life Skills, and more will be coming and coming. Subscribe and share. Thank you very much.